Hello YouTube, my name is Nero, and today we have some Borderlands 2, and the point of this video is to share with you guys how to make Krieg the Psycho the ultimate melee character. See, Krieg is the first character I ever got to level 72. I love the idea of a melee character, and something that's so synonymous with the Borderlands series is a Psycho, and be able to play as a Psycho in Borderlands is freaking amazing to me. So, I've tried out a bunch of different things with Krieg on my journey, level 72. I've tried out a bunch of things in Hellborn, as well as Mania, as well as in the Bloodlust tree, and I gotta say, the best way to run Krieg is with melee, so the point of this video was to make Krieg the ultimate melee character and try to maximize your melee damage and such. And for us to do that, we're going to first have to go here into our Axe Rampage and grab that. Now, the point of the video and how I'm going to be doing this is I'm going to show you guys a level 72 build for Krieg, then show you some gameplay, showing you how everything can possibly work, how everything synergizes together. And then I'm going to be showing at the end of the video, you guys will be able to see a level 61 as well as a level 50 build for Krieg the Psycho to hopefully make Krieg a bit better. And maybe you don't have all the DLC, maybe you don't have all the level cap increases, maybe you're still level 50, maybe you're, level 61. So I have builds for you guys at the end of the video. But for the beginning here, we're going to be sharing the guys level 72. So we're going to be focusing mainly here in the Mania tree. First thing we're going to be doing is Empty the Rage, give that 5 out of 5. That's going to increase our melee damage by 20%, as well as give us a bonus 50% on top of that if our shield is down or if our magazine is empty. Next, we're going to go over here to Feed the Meat and 5 out of 5 that. That is going to increase our maximum health by 50%, as well as add 2.5 seconds onto our shield recharge delay. Most characters want a good shield. They want their shield to be up, but not Krieg. Krieg wants his shield down all the time because Krieg gets a bunch of different bonuses to his melee damage and to his fire rate and to everything when his shields are down. So hopefully our shields can stay down, and how we're going to do that is we're going to help out with Embrace the Pain over here in 5 out of 5 that. So when our shields are down, we're going to get a 35% buff to our fire rate, which is just ridiculous. That is a giant buff to fire rate, and it's also going to add 5 seconds onto our shield recharge delay. So that coupled in over here with Feed the Meat, when our shield goes down, it's going to take an extra 7.5 seconds on top of the shield's already predetermined shield recharge delay. It's going to take an extra 7.5 seconds to even start regenerating itself, which will mean our shields are going to stay down longer, and we're going to get that 50% melee damage bonus, and then we're going to get that 35% fire rate bonus. Then if we go down here and 5 out of 5 Salt the Wound, we're then going to get even more bonuses. So Salt the Wound, taking damage from an enemy while your shield is down, adds a stack of Salt the Wound. Melee and shotgun damage are increased for each stack. So we 5 out of 5 that. There's a maximum of 20 stacks, and I'm not here to do math in my head here, but 7.5 melee damage times 20 is well over 140, because I know 7 times 20 is 140. So you're getting well over 140, well over 150% more melee damage. It might actually be 150%. I'm not very good at math, but yeah, you're getting well over 140% more melee damage if you take damage while your shields are down. And see how all these things are starting to synergize here? Yeah, you want that shield to be down. Next, we're going down here to Silence the Voices. We're going to 5 out of 5 that. That's going to make our melee damage ridiculous by giving us a bonus 250%. But there's still a chance now, a 12% chance that we're going to hit ourselves in the head every time we try a melee attack, and we'll hit ourselves in the head and do a little bit of damage to ourselves, but really, it doesn't really bother you that much. Whatever damage you end up doing to yourself with Silence the Voices will be completely canceled out by the fact that you're going to 1 to 2 hit everything in your path thanks to Silence the Voices, and instantly refill your health anyway. So it's kind of pointless to not run this. It's amazing. That 12% to attack self chance is just so completely, don't even worry about it. It's not even an issue, to be honest. You go down here to Release the Beast, and this is amazing. So activating Axe Rampage, which is our action skill. When you're at or below 33% of your maximum health, it instantly refills your health and transforms you into a badass psycho mutant. You now have 100% more melee damage, and you take 50% less damage from all the enemies that are trying to hurt you. And what's amazing is when you return to normal, your Axe Rampage is instantly recharged. So basically, you could just become Krieg the Invincible thanks to this skill. So assuming, of course, you live through your Axe Rampage, every time you start your rampage when you're at 33% health or less, it instantly gives you maximum health. Then you run around with all this ridiculous damage reduction and melee damage, and you're killing everybody. And then once you finally get out of your rampage, you take a little bit of damage. Then once you get to 33% health or less, you go right back into it. And then you just rinse and repeat and take the process over and over and over again It is amazing. You're right, Krieg the Invincible. Next, we're going over here and putting some things into the Bloodlust skill tree. So we need to unlock some of these skills down here. So between Blood Switch and Blood-Filled Guns, you definitely want Blood-Filled Guns because just by shooting at enemies, it will give you stacks of Bloodlust, and for every stack, your magazine increases by 2.5%. So that definitely helps out. But what we really want is going to be Taste the Blood. Definitely want that. That makes it so during our Axe Rampage, all damage that we suffer is reduced depending on how many stacks of Bloodlust we have. So we take even less damage than we did before. Then we want to go on down here to Fuel the Blood. Now this is not something we really need, but we need to unlock the stuff down here. But we don't really need this that much, but we might as well get it. It's a kill skill, so killing an enemy with melee increases our grenade damage for each stack of Bloodlust. So it's 5 out of 5 on that. So basically, our grenades can do roughly 100% more melee damage, or excuse me, not melee damage. Our grenades will do 100% more grenade damage by killing an enemy in this, and it can stack. And basically you're meleeing everybody anyway. We need to unlock more skills, so we'll make it so our grenades are even better than what they were before. And by meleeing everybody. So that can definitely help you out a little bit. We're also going to grab Buzz Axe Bombardier, which is going to make it so our Buzz Axe, which we can throw it as a form of a melee or a form of a ranged attack in our Buzz Axe Rampage. This will make it so there's dynamite strapped to it, which does a little bit of extra damage, so that's kind of nice. And so we might as well grab that. It's only a 1 out of 1 perk, so why not grab it? We're going to go down here to Blood Trance, which during our Buzz Axe Rampage, or the duration of the Buzz Axe Rampage is increased for each stack of Bloodlust, so that's pretty nice. That'll make it so your Buzz Axe Rampage just lasts longer and longer and longer, of course, depending on how much Bloodlust you have. And then this is going to be Boiling Blood, which will increase the time before Bloodlust starts to decay. And then the final thing we're going to grab is going to be Blood Splosion. Killing an enemy causes them to explode with an elemental nova matching the element of the damage that killed it. And if you do it with non-elemental damage, it'll cause an explosive nova. Now, damage is increased for each stack of Bloodlust, and any overkill damage is also added to the damage caused by the elemental nova. So what this does in layman's terms here, I was trying to explain this here. So let's say just by shooting people and by meleeing people and using all these skills here, you get your Bloodlust up to 100. It really doesn't take very long to get your Bloodlust up to 100. It takes like a few seconds, really, if you're really quick about it. This will make it so your damage added to the Nova will do 500% more damage, plus extra damage with the overkill. And if you're running around meleeing everybody, believe me, there will be tons of overkill damage, because Krieg here is going to do nearly 10 million damage a swing of his axe. And so you just have, every time you melee somebody with this ability, basically, they're going to explode, and they're going to do damage to people around them as well. It's freaking amazing. It took me a while to figure out how to make this all work, but man, it really works very well. We have 14 skill points left, and I figure what we can do. There's a couple things we could do. This is all your personal preference here. These 14 really aren't too helpful. You could 5 out of 5 strip the flesh, and doing that will make it so your explosive damage goes up by 15%, which will help out your Buzz Axe Bombardier. So if you're trying to throw your axe at people as a form of a ranged attack, that could help. Or you can come on over here and do one of these two things. Now, you can really choose Pick or Poison on Burn Baby Burn, which will increase your burn damage and also give you a self-ignite chance. But for me, personally, I don't really run around with this too much, because I'm going to say probably 80% of Borderlands 2 is against robots, and the first 20% is against, bandits and psychos and people with flesh that actually take more damage from fire. Everyone else resists fire. So I'm not really that into the idea of using Burn Baby Burn. So I'm going to go 5 out of 5 on Fuel the Fire, which will make it so whenever we kill an enemy, this will increase our chances by 200% of causing elemental effects, as well as give us a 35% chance to set yourself on fire. Now, what we're going to do is go down here into Pain is Power. We're going to 5 out of 5 that, which is going to increase our gun damage by 25%, and it actually reduces our critical hit damage by 25%, that's okay. But it's also going to increase our melee damage by 25%, and if we set ourselves on fire, we're going to get a bonus 50% to that. So if we're on fire, we'll be doing 75% more melee damage thanks to this skill. And one of the things we're going to do is go down here to Delusional Damage, which is pretty nice. So every time, not just fire. Usually you have to set someone on fire to set yourself on fire. But with this, if you set somebody on fire, or if you slag them, or you start hurting them with electric damage or corrosive damage, all of those have the ability to set you on fire now, based upon how many points you've accumulated into Burn Baby Burn and Fuel of Fire. Field of Fire gives us a 35% chance to set ourselves on fire. So every time you slag somebody, every time you set someone on fire, every time you corrode somebody or electrocute them, you now have a 35% chance to set yourself on fire, which can give you a big bonus here to your melee. Now, a couple things we could do here. We could go to Fire Fiend, which could help you out a little bit. So what this will do is it'll make it so your melees actually have a chance to set people on fire, which of course has the chance to set you on fire. It'll also increase your weapon accuracy and your reload speed. You could go for that. Just put your remaining 3 points into there. Or you can go up here to Burn Baby Burn, and this will just increase your chances of setting yourself on fire, doing any kind of damage with a weapon, which of course will get you back to this bonus. For this video, why not? All we're really going to do, I mean, it's all your preference on what you want to do. For me, I'm going to put 3 into Fire Fiend, and that's going to make it so every time I melee somebody, they have a 30% chance to set them on fire, which can definitely help out. And there we have all of our skills. Now, what we're going to do now is show you some recommended equipment. Now, what I hate about guides, what I hate about what people do with their guides, like, all right, so what you need all these legendaries and all these things. Like, you don't really need too many things to make this build. All right, so for a shield, there's a couple of shields you can run. One of the good shields, a very good shield to run for Krieg, is actually going to be Flame the Firehawk. This is a legendary shield, but it is you get it for doing a quest, right? You don't even need to farm for this or kill anyone specific. You just need to do a mission and you get this. And this is very, very nice if you're trying to run a melee only Krieg. Although I must say, there's an ability on here, and with the constant Nova damage, that actually can hurt you. Like literally, like it'll hurt your eyes to like watch it. So some people may not like Flame of the Firehawk. And if that's the case, you can go for any other shield. You can do, these are the shields I have, but any shield at all, preferably an adaptive shield might be kind of nice for you to use. Anything that can increase your maximum health and give you some resistance to the elements. Any shield really at all will work for Krieg, although you do get significant bonuses for using Flame of the Firehawk. Now, next over here for class mods. If you're looking for legendary class mods, some of the things I do is while farming for this baby over here, the Hellfire, I ran into a few chubby spider ants, and chubby spider ants have a chance to drop legendary class mods. In fact, for me, it's been 100%. Like, I've gotten all these Psycho class mods, and I've gotten some Siren class mods for my friends. I've gotten some Assassin class mods for myself, and I've gotten a Gunzerker class mod as well. Every time I find a chubby, it drops me a legendary class mod. So if you're looking at how to get these, you can get them from the chubbies, but you really don't need them. So I have 3 of them. I have the Torch, the Sickle, and the Reaper. I'm going to be using the Sickle for this one. It's going to increase my melee damage by 49%, as well as going to be +5 to 5 different skills, which you can see here is going to be Empty the Rage, which will now make so we get 40% more melee damage plus an extra 100. And then we've also got now this Silence the Voices is up to 500% extra damage. You go over here, and the damage we're going to take is reduced by 75 now. And this makes it so our grenade damage is now even better if we're killing people in melee. I think the last one's over here, which will, yeah, it'll make our melee damage go up by 50%. We'll get a bonus 100% damage if we're on fire. It's just a very good class mod. If you're looking for a melee, this is the class mod you want. But I will say this, you don't need it. Basically, you'll need any class mod. You might want to write this down. Any class mod that increases melee damage and also increases the perk Silence the Voices. Alright, anything that makes sounds, if you can get something that adds 5 to Silence the Voices, that makes it so you do 500% more melee damage, and it just makes you ridiculous. Alright, so that's all you want for a class mod. The best case scenario, you get the Legendary Sickle. Worst case scenario, find like a Rage Sickle or a Diesel Sickle, something that increases Silence the Voices. That's all you really need to find. They're very common, you find them everywhere. And for your Relic, for me, I like to run a maximum health relic. This is the best one I have right now. It's not very good. You know, I don't mod in any of my things. I farm for them all, and this is the best one I've actually gotten out of the loot midgets at the Wildlife Exploitation Preserve. So this best I got adds 48.8% more maximum health. You could do melee damage here, but for Krieg, I love to just have way more maximum health, because Krieg for me is really all about the maximum health. Now, what we're going to be doing here is I'm going to be showing you guys a little glitch here, if you guys don't know it yet, but this will actually help you test out your melee damage and see exactly how much melee damage you've got. And I hope I get this on the first try. Alright, so basically what you do is you just jump up there, and then you jump up there. Sanctuary has to be flying for this glitch to work. But you jump on that, you hop up here, and now here comes the part where I usually screw up. You just start running into Marcus's, you jump, and you land on here. And then you don't need to do any fancy grenade jumps or anything. You can just walk. Make sure you hug this wall. You will fall through the floor. So make sure you're hugging this wall. And I apologize, my keyboard's very loud right now. But just hug the wall. Just keep hugging the wall all the way around. Just keep on hugging. I hope I don't screw this part up. That'd be awful embarrassing. And basically just edge your way over until you can finally walk forward. And here you are. Now you're in here. Now you can test your melee damage and see exactly how well it's working. So a normal melee from Krieg right now, as I hit myself in the head, a normal melee for me is going to do 1.9 million damage, right? Just a normal melee, which is pretty freaking ridiculous. Do I have a slag weapon on me by chance? Yes, I do. I have this Florentine. So let's try and slag him up. Wait for the slag. Gotta wait for the slag. All right, now he's slagged and I'm on fire. We're going to be doing 6.5 million damage per melee with that, which is pretty ridiculous. Now he's on fire. So let's go into our Rampage. We're going to do 29 million damage when he's slagged. 29 million damage, which is ridiculous. When he's not slagged, we're doing 9.6 million. If we're just throwing our doohickey here, we're going to try. I'm going to try and slow down on that in the video so you guys can see. We're doing just under 1 million damage with our explosive, and the actual melee itself is doing about 6 million damage. Now, of course, this gets even better if our health is at 33% or less, and we actually can activate Release the Beast and do all that, as well as if our shield were actually down, which of course it's not. So there's a bunch of different things for us to do here, and the only way to really test this is to go ahead and I'm going to go fight a bunch of people and show you guys exactly what they can do. I'm going to show you with a shield like the Flame of the Firehawk that can really benefit you because it constantly releases fire novas all around you, and you're just setting everybody on fire, and it's very nice, but it really hurts the eyes. And I'll do one with, oh, I don't know, I'll do the Big Boom Blaster, just any random shield. I'll do any random shield really works, although I recommend an adaptive shield. So we're going to go show you guys some gameplay, and then we're going to show you guys the level 50 as well as the level 61 builds. Alright, so I figure the best way to share with you guys exactly how this build will work is to show you some actual gameplay. So here in the Mr. Torque DLC, we're going to go do the Barroom Blitz, and with the Flame of the Firehawk shield, when it's depleted, you have just this constant fire nova coming out. So what I do, I just walk in here, and I'm just going to shoot at some people. I'm using slag, because slag definitely helps, and just, you know, waiting for them to take down my shield. Now I'm just waiting for them to actually take down my health, so I can go into my ultimate rampage mode and run around and take everybody out as Krieg. But for the time being, I'm just going to stand here and let the fire do its thing. It doesn't really work too well on Anarchist. Then you slag them, then all of a sudden it was like a one-hit kill. Just because these guys kind of resist fire. It's a pretty freaking powerful shield that you definitely want to be using a lot if you're Krieg. But it can hurt your eyes, as you can see right here, as I'm running around in my Rampage. There's like constant flashing, and I found that over time that like using this shield and running around, like it really can start to bother your eyes. It really can. So if this is something you might be sensitive to, then you might not want to use the Flame of the Firehawk shield, even though it is a ridiculously powerful shield and just very beneficial if you're playing as Krieg. I wish there was a way to make it so the Novas weren't as ridiculous, but I mean, I guess there's really no way to change that. So either way though, you're seeing me run around this Krieg here. You're seeing at most of the kills are one hit, possibly two hit, and it's ridiculous. Right here is actually amazing, I think. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in Ultimate Rampage. Mind you, you're like invincible at the time it takes you to load your arms up. And then I'm going to kill that guy and then instantly kill the other ultimate badass from the Blood Splosion. If you go back and look at the damage that happened from Blood Splosion. That was ridiculous. That's how good Blood Splosion can be. That's why you want to use that. You kill one guy, if there's other people next to him, it will do massive amounts of damage. Next here, we're actually going to just change the shield. Now we're using a booster shield, which is going to be the Big Boom Blaster. It is actually a Seraph shield. It's really nothing special. It doesn't really help Krieg at all. It's just a shield. And I decided to just do this without the Flame of the Firehawk shield, just to show you guys exactly what it can be like if I'm not running around with the Flame of the Firehawk shield. Wait for these architects to actually take down my health a bit. Now I instantly get all my health back by going into Ultimate Rampage mode. And now we're just going to do a bunch of ridiculous melee damage. As you can see, you're taking people out just by throwing your axe. You don't even have to really walk up and actually axe them some of the time. So it is definitely powerful. It's definitely ridiculous to run around as Krieg. I feel as though I should mention, though, that Krieg the Psycho, an ultimate melee build, Krieg is not very good against certain raid bosses. He's not really good against a lot of big people. Now, in terms of like playing through the campaign or, you know, doing side missions and doing things of that nature, I don't think there's any character even comes close to Krieg. I mean, maybe like a Gunzerker or something, but I haven't really played with a Gunzerker much. Krieg is ridiculous. He's basically invincible if you play everything right, and he takes everybody out all the time. Like, maybe at max level. I mean, of course, if you're not max level, you might not have certain things you would want for this build, But level 72 Krieg is freaking ridiculous. He just runs around and takes out everybody. You know, whether he's throwing his axe, whether he is right here. I think we're gonna get a blood Splosion kill here in a moment. Could this be it right here? I think that might have been some blood Splosion. I can't tell. It's going so fast that it's actually sometimes difficult to tell. But as you can see, just walking through, taking out all of these ultimate badasses, going down here after this raging biker. But yeah, man, Krieg is one of the people that is very good to play as by yourself. But in a team environment, like if you're going for raid bosses and stuff, Krieg's pretty tough. And this is where Krieg the Immortal comes in. Notice you go down, if you can get yourself back up by using like a slag weapon, you go back up, then you instantly will have your rampage back, and you just go back into ultimate rampage mode and continue to take out everybody. It's he's basically Krieg the Immortal. It is of course you do die. You will die occasionally. You will go down, but for the most part, it's a very, very powerful way to go ahead and run Krieg. So now we're going to go over some builds for some level 61s as well as a level 50 in case you guys don't have the DLC pack taking you up to level 72. Alright guys, and welcome back. So, you guys got a taste. We're doing lots of melee damage. You really feel invincible when you're playing as Krieg, especially when you're facing a bunch of bandits. It works just as well on robots. Maybe slightly worse on robots because they have a bit more health than normal bandits. But that's definitely one of the best ways I can find to even run Krieg. It's amazing. So what we're going to be doing here is going ahead and we're going to be resetting our skill points to level 61 so you guys can get an idea of a build for a level 61 character. I'm going to do this really quickly as compared to level 72 where I was stopping to explain things. We're going to do this a bit faster, and I think just for I don't know, the sake of the video, I'm just going to take off my class mod so I'm not getting any more of my bonuses. So, of course, we're going to want that. We're going to have 5 out of 5 Empty the Rage, which will definitely help you out a lot. We're going to have 5 out of 5 Feed the Meat. We're going to have 5 out of 5 Embrace the Pain. We're going to try and get that combo going with our shields being down and us doing tons of damage. Synchronize that with Salt the Wound a little bit, because that can definitely help out. Of course, we're going to want Silence the Voices, and then we're going to get Release the Beast. And then we're going to go on over here. We're going to do Blood-Filled Guns. We want that because we need to access our other things here. And we're going to do Taste of Blood here. Now, we're going to need to be able to unlock some of the stuff down here. We definitely want our Blood Splosion for our level 61 character. So we're going to get 1 right there. And we're going to get 4 into our Fuel the Blood, which will help out our grenade damage, because why not? And then go over here. We're going to do Blood Trance. We're going to do 5 out of 5 on that. We're going to do 5 out of 5, make it so our Bloodlust stacks don't decay. Then of course we're going to do Blood Splosion because Blood Splosion is freaking amazing. And so we got what? We got 4 spots left, I believe, if I did all my math in my head correctly. And I figure what we're going to do is use those 4 spots on this right here. We're going to make it so we have more explosive damage. All right, and that's definitely going to synergize well with Blood Splosion. That's going to synergize well with our Buzz Axe Bombardier. And this is what I recommend right here as a build for you guys for a level 61 Krieg the Psycho that's looking to really maximize your melee. And yeah, I think that works out pretty freaking well. And next up here, we're going to be resetting our skills once again to show you guys a build for a level 50 Krieg the Psycho that's looking to really maximize your melee. So, of course, we're going to need our action skill. We're going to have 5 out of 5 Empty the Rage as well as Feed the Meat. And we're going to do Embrace the Pain. Get, once again, just completely synergizing our shield being down and doing tons of melee damage. Of course, we're going to need Silence the Voices. And we're going to need our Release the Beast. Then we're going to go on over here and start working the Bloodlust a little bit. Unfortunately, being level 50, you can't really max out both of these skill trees. We can get some of the things we really need out of these skill trees, which will definitely help us out a bit. We're going to Taste the Blood. We're going to 5 out of 5 on that. We're going to make it so we can throw our axe. That's going to help us out. And then we're going to do 4 in here. And then we're going to do 4 in here. And I believe that is just about everything that we can do to give you guys a pretty efficient level 50 Krieg the Psycho. We're doing tons of melee damage. It's synergizing very well with your shield being down in our Mania tree, as we do in every build. Then over here, we can get our Bloodlust up just by shooting at people, and we're going to take a lot less damage in our Rampage because of Taste of Blood. Every time we kill somebody with melee, it'll increase our grenade damage. Every time we throw our Buzz Axe, it's going to do a little bit of dynamite damage and explosive damage. And then this down here, depending on how much Bloodlust you have, your Buzz Axe Rampage will last just that much longer. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. It may have been long, but I wanted to share with you guys everything there was to do on a melee Krieg the Psycho. Hope you did enjoy the video, and if you did, please be sure to rate the video where you guys feel it deserves. Took a long time to put this all together and try out all these things and try and get the best build possible. Some more ideas for builds I have some build ideas here. If you guys really want to focus on a Hellborn Krieg that's more about guns and not about melee, I have a build for that you guys might want to check out that I can make. And I've also got a hybrid Krieg, which is part gun, part melee, which is very good. The hybrid Krieg is mainly the one I used throughout my entire playthrough, just because I was trying to make Krieg good with guns. And I think I found some good ways to do it. It's kind of hard to do, but yeah, I've got a hybrid Krieg build. I've got a Hellborn Krieg build. I've also got a build for Zero the Assassin that will just help you take out every freaking raid boss known to man, as well as a melee assassin, as well as a hybrid assassin. I've got a bunch of class mod ideas and a bunch of builds for you guys that you guys might want to check out. And just let me know in the comments what you guys like to see, and I'll look forward to making some of those videos, more build guides for you guys in the future. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.